Are we live? Hello, everyone out there in the rock community. Are we live? Hello, hello. It looks all different and it's awfully quiet in the background. What's going on? What's going on with you? It's Friday. It's time for the Friday Night Live, and here we are, looking kind of different because I'm trying a different thing. Leave it to me to throw a wrench and let sparks fly. Um, so I'm going to be looking in different directions, trying to find your comments and whatnot. So thank you for joining in. I see that Brian's here and Allison and Rocky Mountain Bear, Rock Twister's here, Allison is here, Brian is here, Jeff is here, Lisa's here, Kyle's here. Oh my gosh, the gang's all here. We're so happy to see Sonia's here. Sonia was here like hours ago. Welcome all. And I'm so happy that you could join for this very last of the Friday Night Lives, ever so live before we like just live right into the next year. And so, as we're getting everything together this evening, and folks are landing, why don't you tell me what you've got in store for yourself next year? We're here on the precipice of starting a new year, and I know a lot of people make those resolutions and that sort of thing. We don't have to actually use that word if you don't want to, but I know I have got a lot of new plans for the new year, and I would love to hear what folks are getting ramped up for here in the new year. Jenny Stone's in the house. Good to see you. And let's see. Did I say Sean? Because certainly I would love to say good evening to Sean. And while you guys are getting your 2024 wishes and your resolutions and whatnot in the comments, or rather the chat stream or whatever, I will Steinkern you all. I'm trying to. There we go. What's in the moose? Cheers to you and yours this wonderful evening. I hope that you are having a lovely day and evening. It's 5 or 6 o'clock somewhere, and so Steinkern. All right, what have we got? Kyle would love to stay out of debt for 2024. Yeah, I would count myself amongst those folks that would love to do that. Travis is in the house. Good to see you, Travis. Cheers to you and all the turtles in the world. And what else do we have going on for next year, guys? Allison doesn't want to talk about her bad habits. Well, I'm sure she has none, but let's just have coffee. Cheers. Okay. Sounds good. Oh, Rocky Mountain Bear is just waiting for the comet to hit. Okay, super. Are we just hoping to pick up the bits and pieces from that? You know, let's hope that it's a very small one, and that we can all just make some mineral prospects out of the whole thing. Um, let's see. Sean is excited to go to Isle Royale National Park. That sounds very awesome. Super. Take us all along. Lisa says Steinkern. I'll drink to that. I mean, it is like Pee Wee's Playhouse, right? Like every time somebody says it, you gotta drink. And Ken is in the house. Good to see you, Ken. Jeff is going to figure out a new diet. Okay, I'll bet you there's a few of us that are going like, okay, what part of the diet can we switch around a little bit? Uh, and Jenny says, "Ooh, Sean, nice. Get some greenstone." So that is why we go there. I'm unfamiliar with the spot. You guys can fill me in, and whoever else is maybe flagging along in the not know it zone. That's why we call it the ozone, right? Ozone. I know that there's some lurkers out there this evening, so cheers to you too, Steinkern, to you and to yours, and wishing you the happiness in the new year. And of course, I'd love to hear what you've got cooking for you yourself next year too. You can either leave it. Oh my gosh, words not working tonight. You can leave it in the comments, or you can stick it in the chat. I think I don't know which way the chat is going, but you can do that. Victoria is in the house. I think that's the other half of the JNV. So good to see you. And yeah, okay, I think I got that right. um and we've got plans for Blue, I think, in Rocky Mountain Bear's near future. I've got something that might be interesting for you to look at, Rocky Mountain Bear. And ooh, my mom is in the house. Everybody say hi to Judy. Hi, Judy, mom. Thank you for having or for coming. And she is saying hi and wishing you. I think she meant wishing you, but she's wise too. So she's wising you all a truly incredible, great, and successful new year, and wishing you. So you get double the pleasure on that one. John is in the house. Oh no, traffic was horrible, he says. And I'm glad that you made it and that you made it safe. I know that traffic is super duper weird. Everybody's driving all crazy because it's the holidays, and I mean, we should all just mellow out because we're, in theory, we're kind of on vacation and stuff, right? So hopefully, Jeff says, diet is whatever you eat, maybe high fat or low fat, whatever, but it's all a diet, right? That is so true, Jeff. And Cody is in the house. Hey, Cody, thank you so much for joining us. I think I saw Kirk Hauer earlier on in the chat, although I don't think he's popped in quite yet. And so, hey, Kirk, to you. And I know he's got some petrified wood that needs to be in this studio, and we keep on missing each other. Oh no, Lisa's phone is glitching. That's terrible. Brian is on a seafood diet. So I'm wondering if that's the kind of diet in which you see the food, and you'll have to fill me in on if that's that kind of diet that you're talking about. Um, so Sean is catching us up on the Isle Royale is one of the least visited national parks. Datalight and Greenstone found there. Not sure if you can legally collect there though. Okay, well, um, you know that whole adage of take only pictures, right? If it's one of those deals, then definitely make us a video or share some pictures with us. You guys all know that you can share the pictures on our Discord if you don't have a YouTube channel, and perhaps one of my mods can leave the Discord link in the chat somewhere for anybody who's not part of the Discord yet. We love to do the shows and tells there. And then we also have the podcast that is happening alternate Fridays, and you can send your pictures to our podcast email, which would be in darn near every description of every podcast on the Rockhound podcast channel. And so you can hit the email there and send us the shows and tells, and you can be part of one of the podcasts by starring in it for the shows and tells. And so, little housekeeping right up front there. Another little bit of housekeeping. You guys probably, or didn't, if you're a little bit more national or worldwide, didn't hear that one of our local museums, the Rice Museum, got broken into, and all the gold section was stolen out of the museum. If you're out there watching and you know anybody who might be a suspect, you know what to do. It absolutely broke my heart. It happened on Christmas Eve, and I think even Kyle shared some of the information maybe on the Oregon Rockhounds Facebook page or on his channel here on YouTube, or both. I'm not entirely sure, but oh my gosh. Let's see. Moving on. Oh, I think I'm lagging really hard in the chat here. Let me catch up a little bit. Bob's Rocks is in the house and saying hi to mom. Thank you so much. Victoria also saying hi to mom. Thank you so much. And same with Sonia. Let's see. Yep, we're doing good. Allison says hi. Lisa says hi to mom. Brian says hi. Jackie's in the house. Hey, Jackie. Good to see you. Um, let's see. Daniel is in the house. Thank you for coming, Daniel. Good to see you again. Kid Curry is in the house. Good to see you as well. We're just getting ready to cook up a great show here. I've got some surprises, and we're going to look at some newly freshly sliced material that I just did actually this afternoon and yesterday. And Sean is more interested in hiking and camping, to be honest, for his destination there on the Isle. So that's going to be awesome. I totally hear you. Sometimes I just have to cool my jets and just be where I am instead of looking for a thing. And so I like it when we actually head out to some of the places where I know I can't collect, take the pictures, but just, feel all of the senses happen where you eat. Yeah, okay. Brian did actually I see the food and eat it. He did that. So thank you. Um let's see. Jeff is on a personal mission to self-collect some Kentucky again instead of buying it. So are you going to steal the state of Kentucky or just the Kentucky agates? Is that what you're talking about? I have a feeling I know. And Bob is on a good food diet, hard to find bad food. I like that. That'll work. And so John is asking a gravid question here in the chat. So, Karen in all caps, will there be a raw counting podcast next week? And the answer is yes, unless there isn't. But the schedule is that we will have one. To fill you guys in on some of what's been going on, we had a guest that had a medical emergency, and so we rescheduled, and that person's still having it. Now, I don't want to feel like we're jinxed or anything, because that is actually, if you recall, sort of what happened with the AZ rock hounding couple. I don't want to actually be like bad luck in which to be on the podcast. So at any rate, we're looking forward to either having that guest or it'll be the crew, and we'll just come on. So any way you slice it, the plan is that we're going to do it. So it would have to be some other thing at any rate. That hopefully answers your question. It's been the holidays, so everybody gets discombobulated, and that's fair game, I think. But also, John, I checked for you on part A of your question, and part B of your question also not remembering, and so we'll try to check the device and see. He was asking about Onyx and which one we got. I guess there's a couple different flavors, and we were kind of just kind of signed up, I think. But if it helps, Steve hunts, and so I think it might be the hunter one as opposed to one of the other ones. And Kid Curry says, "Oh no, I haven't stopped at the rice yet." Well, unfortunately, it's going to be a little light on the gold display. I mean, they literally went through part of, like, I guess a window, and they took pretty much the whole display, which breaks my heart, because if you guys know at all about the Rice Museum, it is based on a collection. And so these are things that can't be recollected. And so, if they're smelted down, they're gone. And, it just chaps me a bit. I can't think about it too much. When I saw that news, I think it was Christmas morning, excuse me. Yeah, I really kind of had to go to, like, okay, on to the next thing, or else I'm gonna have some steam building up on that. Okay, Kyle says he shared that news literally everywhere, and so yeah, I am absolutely just heartbroken about that. And Ken said, I saw that, and it was nice specimens too that are probably going to get melted down. Yeah. It's unconscionable, and I cannot believe that anybody is even, I mean, how can you how can you sleep with yourself at night? That just is upsetting. Okay, and thank you, Allison, shared the Discord. Thank you so much. I think I'm way behind in the chat. You guys are probably like, come on, hurry up already. uh, I'm gonna catch up with this, and then I'm gonna reveal like our first surprise for this evening. And Allison says, "Whoa, that was hard for me." Devices like throwing curveballs at us. I have the best. I have a feeling I've been definitely suffering myself, and Sean is saying that he has the best of luck 30 minutes from his house anyway. And so that's good. You don't have to go too far to go rock hounding. I hope everybody's feeling that way. And let's see, trying to. Oh, and Jenny is recommending that Brian be a guest on the podcast if he's down. I wonder if somewhere down farther he would say that he is. I'll be looking for that. Um, Oh, I don't see it. Maybe. Oh, and Boots in the House. Excellent. And John is saying 7 years or so, the Mariposa Mineral Museum in California had the same thing happen. The entire gold section was stolen. Thieves are still at large. Well, maybe they moved up to Oregon. I'm so sorry to hear that. It's just not cool at all. Yeah, we're all heartbroken over that. Lisa is saying that here in the chat as well. And Bear is talking about wanting to throw on a security uniform and guard the rice for free. That would be awesome. I know. I think we all felt a bit like V for Vendetta going on. Like, oh, you know, let me get another look at that dude. Like, head out in the truck. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what I would do. Like, kickbox him or something. With the value of that entire collection, you would think, whoops, that place would be a bit more secure. Yeah, Jeff. There's two sides of that coin. If you look like you're super secure, then you're a hit. If you don't secure enough, you're a hit. I think it's the thieves figure it out one way or the other. Which is sad. The grandkids of the original owners of the museum were questioning why they weren't locking it up in a safe as per protocol. Oh, that's interesting, Kyle. Okay, so as you guys probably all know, if you've ever worked at like say a high zoo jewelry store or a place that has stuff that is like gold hanging around, the protocol typically is to lock it up. You take it from the floor and you put it in a safe. And so Kyle is making the point here that they're wondering why it wasn't locked up as per protocol at closing. And so you would really hate to imagine that it was some sort of inside job that somebody, hopefully they were just being lazy or that feels like somebody's head's on the platter, though. That feels awful. I feel bad about that. So Cody is saying we had a museum here in Idaho get robbed of the crystal collection about 5 years back, and the thieves were never found. So, with crystals, you kind of wonder like, okay, maybe there's a way to identify them if they go back on the market, and there's like just some like teeny weeny bit of hope that maybe they could be traced. But with gold, yeah, once it's smelted, once it's just so easy. And that's what's so sad about it, is that the likelihood is low. I'm catching up. I'm almost to the end of catching up, and then we're going to go, I promise, to the first surprise. And let's see. Okay, Spot's in the house. Hey, good to see you, Spot. I love the stink eye that I give when I'm trying to read. Sorry, guys. Um, And there was something awesome from Jeff that I didn't see. It works on this end. He's jamming. Oh, I see what's going on. I think Lapidary Dave is doing a little jam. And so it's okay if you guys want to double dip. No worries there. And yeah, like Kyle is saying that maybe somebody just didn't want to spend the time. That's not an area in which you want to be lazy, I don't think. Don't forget to brand your rocks, right? Get that branding iron out and onto them rocks. Make sure that you know that they're yours. But I mean, on, not with gold, because again, it's just going to melt. But you could even engrave something on your rocks, the ones that are really nice. If you ever felt like you might get rolled and they might go up for fencing. One of the Minnesota agate guys had a lady come in his shop with an agate that was stolen from one of his friends. He took it and told her he was keeping it and why he was keeping it. Yeah, that is awesome. I do love to hear stories of justice. So that's fantastic. Brand with an iron or snazzy name that's sure to take off. Right. That's great. Okay. So we're trying a new platform here. And so right now I'm going to see if I can magically pluck one of you guys randomly out of the chat and see if you show up here in the live stream. And so, I mean, that would be super interesting technology, I think. So let me see if I can do that right now. Oh, look, it works. It's does anybody know who this random magical person is? Oh, and Joseph just rolled in. Good evening, Rock and Willers. And so this is a really cool thing to try. Let's see. It looks like somebody's muted though. So, it says I'm getting a message from my side that it says that my guest mic is not connected, and so um, maybe I should roll the dice and do you want to like go and come back again? You want to do that? Turn it on and off again. Ladies and gentlemen, my magic guests. Let's all give him a hand. And he was speechless. And I think that this is always really fun. Like if you haven't seen his videos yet, then it's always so interesting to me when you get to actually see somebody that you've chatted with a whole bunch, but you don't know what they look like. And so, yeah, not only human, but like has a face. Back in my radio days, I always thought it was interesting when like we'd have like a party and everybody would show up to the party and you'd have your back turned to the crowd and you could hear all of these radio personalities and then you turn around and like, oh, they have a face and they didn't look at all like you thought they would. um let's see, whiteboard and marker time. Right, that's great. um all right, we're gonna try this again and see if Ken has a voice.
Do I have a voice?
He has a voice, ladies and
Oh my gosh. I'm
Ken,
on the radio.
out of the interwebs and onto your screen.
Hi, everyone.
Cheers. And so this is my magical and special guest this evening. And from what I understand, just as though having volume wasn't enough and being able to hear his voice, he has also brought things for us to look at. So would you like to start right off the bat and share some of your goodies?
Well, do you want to see the one that you asked about last night straight off the bat?
Well, of course.
Okay.
Especially since I must have known to ask for it. So
It's that blue one.
That blue. Oh yeah, yeah. You guys need to see this.
All right. So azurite and malachite geode, I pulled out of New Mexico in like 1996.
All
I do
right.
have some
So
stills that I took of it too. But we'll try this just to see what happens.
okay, and I'm playing with new technology, guys. So
Oh,
hold
too
on.
much glare. Yep.
Wait.
Oh, hey.
No, I went. Wait. No, we're gonna do. Wonder if I can. Here we go. There.
Ha.
So
So
isn't this amazing, you
big
guys?
hollow. And that's the side that's normally facing out. Sometimes I spin it around so the malachite shows. Now it's not showing up great on the camera right now. It's really bright green.
So I don't know if all of your guys' back looks that good, but
No.
this one, baby's got back on this one.
All right. But I did also take some stills of it if you want to try that picture thing.
I do.
Present, present, take your pick.
Yeah. Better than past tense.
Present, share screen, window.
Wait for it. That or else we're about to explode. So
Yeah, that can happen too.
countdown. Yeah, that was Cynthia is saying that that was just stunning, Ken.
Okay.
And baby's got bots, says Jeff. Darn straight.
There it
And
is. Now,
oh, okay, yeah, let me wait. Oh, that's interesting. It doesn't want
you had to drag it last night, remember? When we did that video, you had to like grab it and drag it.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Hmm. Well, hold
Maybe
on.
let me see what happens if I do that. Settings.
So it's
Nope.
asking me for a full size layout, but
Huh. Well, let's try this. I don't know if
more
anything
things
happened or
up
not.
my sleeve. I
I don't
came
know if
up
anything
empty.
happened or not, but I just brought it back to my full screen.
Boom, baby.
There it is.
Ooh, ooh.
All
Yeah,
right.
that's gorgeous. I
Yeah.
like it.
Now let's see if I can do this. I think my view is going to go away because I'm going to have to engage in that, and it's in the background right now. But I think I can run this as a slideshow. All right. There. Did the picture script change?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it did just change. Can you see
All
it?
right. I can't see your screen, what you're seeing, but I can just see my Windows picture view. So
Oh, that's
there's,
magnifique.
yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's very body.
Isn't it though? And that's what
Yeah,
it
that's
looked like.
actually much better than what I could see last night, too.
Yeah. And that's what was sticking out of the rock pretty much right there. You can see the little bit of malachite in the middle and then on the bottom. And those, I think, azurite could be linerite, those little veins.
Wow.
There's a nice deep into those bots.
Yeah, deep bots. I love the variation of color. And so you were talking last night about it being kind of like the matrix is rotten. It's a
It's
bit
just
crumbly.
it's very chalky. Very,
Uh,
very chalky. I've got
Have
debris
you
on my keyboard right now.
I'm sorry. Rocks
Just from
fall
that.
out.
Yeah, just
Thank
like little, like great big sugar crystals all over the place.
Oh no. But thank you for making the sacrifice and you guys, if Ken only in the chat can like do threes or something like that, you know that it's it's our fault that it is his
Uh,
keyboard is toting.
there you can see the green.
Oof. That looks really crystalline, actually.
It is. It's almost a little bit fibrous, especially in that lower, that more
Ooh.
emerald green color in that little valley there. The top
Oh,
is a hair darker and more just crumbly, but deep in that pocket, it makes me think that years and years ago, all of it might have been a little bit more fibrous like that.
gotcha. Yeah, that this has been the slow degradation, like
Yep.
oxidization or what have you,
Yeah.
whatever. is going on there. Have you a guess as to what that matrix is? Or is it just like silicate sandy stuff?
It's exactly that. Silicate sandy. It's I don't look at it cross-eyed.
That's like my jam, like cross-eyed and then stick it under the microscope and find out who you are. But yeah, probably just like some nice
Yeah.
silicate sand.
All right,
Sounds
I'm going to
good.
minimize the screen so we can see what happens now.
Okay.
Did it go away? Is it still there?
Oh, it's still there.
Okay.
Um,
Well, good. We just
but
learned
I
something.
might
It
change.
doesn't have to be present. That's what I was wondering about, was if I got rid of it out of my full screen, if it would still be up there.
Uh-huh.
Now I can just now I
Seems
can get
like
rid of
it's doing
here.
good.
I can just remove that now. And there we are.
Boom. All right. Now you're in control.
It's a shared experience.
This is great. No, this is so fun to
I
know
can't see
because
chat
then I
right
don't have to
now.
do everything.
Everybody's probably angry at me. I can't see.
He's in the driver's seat. Everybody buckle in.
All
Yeah.
right.
Cody is asking about the black light on it. Does it UV?
No, not really. It's got a couple spots where there may or may not be, but it's probably just my imagination.
All right. So, Cody, you can imagine if it wants to fluoresce, but otherwise, probably not so much. And let's see, just catching up really quick. What's nice is that as we were doing that beautiful
Nice
show,
song.
people were just, going like back and forth in the chat. But we do have from Bob's Rocks, we have a wow, wow, wow. So I would have to totally agree with that. Like, wow, 3 times. All right.
Pretty
Let's
one.
see what else. Do you have some more?
Oh, I've got a shelf full of stuff. That's just that I can reach right there.
You were saying that you were preparing, and so yeah, like you got
I've
the
got
stage.
live stuff. I've got pictures, interpretive dances.
Oh, yay! Should I sprack out the uke so that you've got something to dance to?
And I've never actually learned how to throat sing, but I've always wanted to try. So we can,
Ooh,
right
some
there.
Tuvan throat singing. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Would
I'll
have
get
loved
out
to
my
be
didgeridoo, and we can do it that way.
probably a
Um,
steel drum thing going on too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're going full tribal. Everybody, like get out your tribal instruments. Oh my gosh, John, thank you so much. That is fantastic. John gave us a little super there in the chat. Thank you so much.
I saw that.
Yay. Yeah. Like I don't know if you guys know, but like some of these tricks that you use for a platform for doing this stuff does cost things. And so thanks. Because I went ahead and I jumped off the cliff and I like, here's my money. Hopefully I can make this thing work. And so I appreciate you guys very, very much. All right. So let's see. Silverback. Hey, welcome to the chat. And he's going to pass on the dances. So we'll
Aw.
just go back to the rocks, I guess. He's not interested. So we've got a veto.
But what am I going to do with the feather boa?
Silverback, he had his feather boa out.
The cat will take it when she wakes up.
Oh, yeah, sure.
That flashlight didn't work out too great last time. Let's try this though. That, and I don't have pictures down, is half of a horse tooth that I pulled up
Ooh,
off the beach.
wow.
It's split
Oh, I should.
down the middle lengthwise along that axis there, along that plane there, I should say. There we go. Sorry.
So, have you a guess as to how old that horse is?
Off the beach, it's impossible to tell. That bone layer is 35 feet deep, and it spans the entire Pleistocene ice age. So it's any time in the last 12 million years when there's been. And it just,
Ladies and gentlemen, a 12 million year old horse,
yeah,
or not,
or not, up
but
to 12,000 years ago.
12,000.
Yeah, 12,000 to 12 million. Yeah,
that's
when
a
I
fair
yeah,
span.
yeah.
But
This area
oh,
here has been shallow sea, dry land, shallow sea, dry land over and over and over again during that entire time period. So that's why we find shark's teeth mixed in with horse teeth, mixed in with antler.
oh my gosh. I'm imagining the horses and the caribou like jumping the shark. No?
Hey.
Hey. But alas, like, and I'm sure because the ocean's, whirling it around, there's like not even good layer chronology to even go by. It just gets pitched up on the beach after a hurricane.
Yeah, after, I mean, anything. Plus, they do beach restoration where they'll go out and dredge a mile offshore and bring it in and dump it there.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Yeah,
So,
we got, the same thing in Yaquina Bay. They were, dredging for our NOAA dock that they put in, and they were pulling a bunch of it up on land, and, like human crabs, everybody was up on there, like, finding all the agates in there.
oh wow, sure. They actually found 5 or 6 years ago now, or released 5 or 6 years ago. Probably they found it a couple of years beforehand. A native burial ground offshore
Ooh.
that used to be dry land,
Oh,
and
how
they
cool.
found the posts still in the ground. They found some remains, some artifacts, and it's 2 or 3 miles up the beach from me. They won't give the exact location up for obvious reasons,
Wow.
but
Yeah. Oh, how amazing.
yeah, that was big news when it came out.
That is incredible. So, Joseph would like to know if that belongs to Mr. Ed.
Wilbur.
Wilmer. Yeah. I don't think Mr. Ed like was quite that old. Like I think it was black and white about 12,000 years ago, but yeah. We didn't go into color until like a couple thousand years ago.
Oh
Thank
my
you for the
lord.
question.
It's a fun beach. You find stuff like that. That's about 3/4 of a juvenile Meg.
Ooh,
You can see where it
ooh.
would have come up that way. That was in the surf a little while ago.
Oh, wow.
Let's see what if I can do, if I can adjust this light a little bit here. Bring it out more. Yeah, it helps a little
Wow.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just
It's
at
almost
that w
opalescent there. You can see the shimmer in the enamel, which is great.
wow, a juvenile Meg. Meg.
Yep.
Wow.
You find other, like, verts.
Oh,
Just
who
too,
do we think that belongs to?
I have no idea. It's a half of one. It obviously split down the middle,
Yeah.
like that horse tooth. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, I haven't. This one probably has enough to maybe be diagnostic with that bit there.
Yeah.
There's enough that they could probably figure it out. I found this one a couple months ago and haven't brought it in yet. Actually, I've never brought anything in, so I shouldn't say I haven't brought it in yet.
You can still say "yet," though.
Yeah,
That makes sense. It
it
does.
is. It's
In
accurate.
context.
Misleading, but accurate.
Oh, Spot says that, their feather boa is the one with the little lights in it. Did you have little lights in your feather boa?
Uh, Googly eyes.
Oh, good. Did you get it from Kyle? Kyle, does your feather boa have googly eyes as well?
I wasn't supposed to say that out loud.
Okay, everyone in the chat, that's a secret. Okay, just keep that under your
He's
toque.
going to come steal it from me now, isn't
Yeah. Okay, and Kyle was saying that, dang, that was awesome.
he? Yeah, but
So
he leaves a rock under your pillow. He's the googly eye fairy.
right. Kyle, did you know that you've just been outed as well? You're the googly eye fairy. No, no, he's a gnome. Like I'm confused.
They're all the wee fey creatures. They're interchangeable.
I'll go with that. Nice.
My one and only piece of petrified wood I've found on the beach.
Really? This is it,
Yeah,
Leist.
this is it. I
Oh
wish
my
I
gosh.
could have a better.
That's very special. And why do you
There we
suppose there
go.
isn't a whole lot of wood out there?
I don't know. I would have thought there'd be at least a little more. I just don't know if the area wasn't right for petrifying the wood, if it didn't have the right
Mm.
stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of it is from getting buried by volcanoes and all the silica that comes through there, and there really wasn't a lot of that here. But yeah, my one and only piece, and I think it's palm wood because it's got all those crazy wave things going on with
It
it.
feels palm,
It
just
does.
like, I mean, there's no way to identify low these many miles between my eyeballs and yours, but like, yeah, it kind of looks palmy.
Yeah,
Doesn't look like normal wood.
yeah, occasionally you can. Somebody sent me this from Nevada, and this is definitely palm wood. You can see the sutures up and down and the different
Yeah.
growth lines.
Oh,
And
I
the best
love
thing
it.
is, it's got the bug hole.
Oh,
Either
yeah.
that or a couple 100 million years ago, someone was running around with a 22 plunking on palm trees.
Right, or somebody took like a big bite out of it. Ow.
Yeah. Yeah, you can actually tell this one is a palm tree. And I
Oh,
can bring
yeah.
this up to the trees outside my window and hold it, and it's the exact same pattern.
Oh, isn't that fantastic? That is so cool when, yeah, you've got something that's comparative for so much time span in between. Like they brought some metasequoia and have some growing right outside the John Day Museum, and that's our fossil. That's our state fossil, is the metasequoia. And I guess
Yep.
they got some from I think that they still grow either in Japan or in China or something like that. And so they brought some over here. They don't grow here anymore.
Is that the ones they found in that deep valley?
It's
That
very
was,
possible.
yeah, I think that was China. They found them like 20 years ago,
Hmm.
somewhere around there. I saw something along that line about 20 years ago.
Yeah, yeah. There's a ranch across the street from the museum there at the John Day, and they have the metasequoia there. And it's like, oh my gosh, like this is what we're getting. Like they have this a metasequoia piece of petrified wood outside that museum that like is bigger than you can wrap your arms around. Like it's just one of like a round that's sitting there.
Yeah,
And those of you who are rolling museums, don't take it.
yeah, that is not cool.
That is so
You're out
not
there,
cool.
man. Not cool.
Not at all cool. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, Kyle is saying that he doesn't leave quarters, just googly eyes. He needs his quarters, people. People keep on claiming him. He's out of quarters.
He
Somebody
doesn't
should
give
send
them.
him roll.
He doesn't give them. I've seen people try.
Yeah.
I've seen him actually reach. I mean, he claimed 19. He's like, oh, 19. And he all like gets his hands on it before he figures out. But it never leaves the screen.
And so Jenny wants to know, is it green? And I have no idea what she's talking about. And uh, I see some red, and that's what Joseph says. I don't know. What are we doing? We're like they've gone ahead with their own life in the chat, I think. um, let's see. All right. So palm woodpecker. Oh, nice spot. Yeah. The
Wham!
maybe. I'm thinking of the cool prehistoric woodpecker that was pecking on that palm pecker. Ooh, that sounds terrible. I retract that statement. Oh no, and Lisa's phone is still glitching bad. Stop phone. Don't
Oh no!
glitch. Yeah.
Darn it!
All right. So what's next? I'm loving
Um,
this. He's
I
just running this show.
I just pulled up another screen. This is stuff that most of it was in a barrel I cleaned out today that's still rough, that is going on to rough. A couple of them are waiting to go on to stage 2.
Look at what I just did. Oh, that's cool.
Oh, hey,
I
look at
did.
that.
Yeah, I didn't know how to do that until just
Yeah,
now.
awesome. Now
And
let's
then
see if I can do this. Now,
wait for it.
okay, so
Wait.
this, it's still on the screen. Can I interchange? In a mystery box I got from World of Warhounds, I got this piece of jasper. And I'm looking at it, trying to figure out what it is. I know I'm going to break it up for tumbling. And I'm watching this video on aquamarine mining in Pakistan, and they're in this village, and behind them are these goats, and this baby goat do what baby goat do. I'm looking at that, and I'm looking at this piece of jasper. They're the same color. So
Oh.
this is my BGS jasper. BG standing for baby goat.
I like that. Everybody's got like their, Columbia River agates and their
Yep.
Lake Superior agates. Well, here's yours.
And I got my first test piece going in rough. It's still got like one more week, but this is what it looked like today.
Ooh.
And that's just coarse, and it's soaking wet at the moment, which is why it's got the shine on it. But that's my BGS.
Wow. Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's pretty stuff. It's got that yellow and green with those little red runs through it. It's some really, really fun stuff. And there's got
Yeah.
a pound and a half of it, so I got a bunch more in another barrel. And then this one was just my first test piece to see how it would run. Had a couple spots like in the middle of this. I don't know if you probably can't tell. I can see it. In that little yellow field in between all those three red areas, there's a low spot. It's not quite there. There's a little pit going on.
Oh, bummer.
No, it'll wear out. That's why you tumble them. It'll eventually just wear it down to where it's nice and smooth there.
You're a tumbling magician. Like when I get my tumbler going, it'll be great to get your help.
You
You do
stand back
such
and
good
say,
stuff.
"Yep, it's smooth." And
And if not, throw it back in.
done.
Nice. Yeah, I like that, the idea of walking away from the lapidary, like, most of us do all this hands-on lapidary. It's like,
Set
no.
it and forget it.
Yeah, I think that you're the smart one amongst us.
How about that? I have walked into my share of walls repeatedly.
Well, at least the sausage is still getting made when you do.
Oh, don't ever. My dad was the town butcher. You do not want to see how that gets done.
Oh, actually, I've made sausage, so
Okay, yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's ugly, folks. Yeah.
Yeah. Something a little bit prettier.
This rock is a lot prettier even having to do with, goat, doo-doo.
This next one, I have no idea what it is. It came in a box of mixed rocks I got from a guy in Oregon that sells wholesale lots, and this was scrap pieces. This was the only piece of it in there in a like 6-pound lot. Patoof.
Ooh, oh my gosh, that's on fire.
Yeah.
That's hot.
I had to take off one. I've got another smaller little piece of it, and that's agate. That's not jasper. That's agate. I'll show you a peek. Yeah,
No.
that red at the end. I'll show you at the end. I've
Oh,
got 3
that's
pictures
gorgeous.
of just this side at slightly different angles to try
So,
to get.
really quick, Rufotris just said, "Hey, is that Ken?" So great to see Ken. Hey, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah, Ken took over my show, which is great. I let him.
So yeah, there's that, and on the back side, there were a whole bunch of cracks. I managed to keep the couple little druzy pockets that were going on, and
Oh,
still get rid
wow.
of the cracks, and that's always tough.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
I
And
always
then
wonder that. So this is being tumbled right now?
this is going on to stage 2. This one's done with course, and it's just waiting to go into my next batch of stage 2. And I've actually got that'll be starting on New Year's Day. I have a batch of tumbles of some really fun stuff getting done on New Year's Day, which was not a planned out thing. It just happened.
Well, I like it anyway.
Yeah.
Like, what a great
So
way
that,
to start off the year, huh?
yeah. So that one will be going into stage 2, and then in 3.5 weeks it'll be done, along with a
So,
bunch of other stuff.
question about the nubbins or the druzy there. Will they get rounded out when you do the rest of the tumbles?
No, the way that the tumbling works, that stuff, your big worry is getting grit trapped in it and then going on to contaminate a later round, which is where my
Oh,
ultrasonic comes in. Tumbling works because the grit is in the water. The water is just the lubrication, and the rocks are rolling against each other. So since there's
okay.
nothing rolling against those rocks, or it's against those points in those little pockets, nothing's wearing those away, aside from the very, very minor little grit particles swishing against each other in there.
Okay, sweet as, because I was like, I always pictured, again, those of us who do manual lapidary, I always pictured tumbling having to do with like different sized grits that might get stuck into places like that.
They do. That's what my ultrasonic cleaner. Stuff like this. This piece was in there for a day. Just it goes 10-minute cycle. As soon as it stopped, I'd hit the button again. Hit the button
Oh,
again. Hit the
gotcha.
button and get in there with a pin and dig stuff out. And I can still see a little bit of dark
Ah,
stuff in that bottom pocket now that I've got it on my big screen instead of an 1.5-inch rock. I'm gonna have to go
we
back.
need everybody needs to put their stuff on the big screen so you can see what it is you're working on.
Yeah, these
So
glasses aren't
good
strong enough.
tip. Yeah, good tip for everybody though out there. Like, I mean, if you're kind of learning as I am.
Now on the right hand side where it's all red there, click, click. You can see all the light passing through. That's agate, and it glows.
Wow. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. That is quite the piece. So it's like a swirly carnelian kind of.
Yeah. Speaking
Ooh.
of swirly carnelians, and I wish I had the piece that's in coming out of polish done now to show you. This next one, those are all white plumes rising up through
Ooh.
there, and
Oh
it's
wow.
swirly carnelian. And if you look at the very top right edge, there's a little bit of orange right on the surface there, like on the
Yeah.
top. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
on the main piece turns into the spray of flames along a crack, and that's in polish right now. That's in the stuff that's coming out on New Year's Day.
Oof. Wow.
You can kind
Yeah,
of see
that's
it.
like Jupiter's belly, you
Yeah,
know?
that's a
It's so good.
fun piece. And
Wow.
that one that's coming out also has a druzy pocket on it that I managed, a really big one that I managed to save.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, that exceeds the whole druzy pocket salvation thing exceeds expectation on tumbling. I didn't know you could do that.
yep. Some people, I've never tried it, will either melt hot wax or crayons into them before they start. And then when it's done with each stage, they take it out and boil it to get all the old wax in because it'll have some of the grit embedded in it, put new stuff in and send it on to stage two. And to stage two, boil it, get the old wax out, put new stuff in. I've never tried it.
Wow, that totally makes sense. I was just thinking exactly reading my mind. How are you in my mind? Because that's crazy, right? Unagi. Right? Because I was thinking, okay, well, one could say even fill it with a CA or an epoxy and then just put it in the acetone afterwards. And then you wouldn't actually have to even remelt in between because it wouldn't have any way of picking up any of the bad grit, right?
I would think the epoxy would be soft enough that like that grit is a 9.5, so it's going to dig right into it.
Ew. Yeah, that is hard. I
Yeah.
see. Yeah, so
That's why
you'd
you can,
still
yeah,
you'd still have to go through some, but
yeah.
that like, that's I was just looking around my studio going, "What would I have to fill things with?"
What do I
Like,
have
that's what I'm
on
thinking.
hand to do it with?
Yeah, totally. That or
That's
dopping wax.
you saw that basket thing I put together the other day for doing my little gravity tests.
Oh, brilliant. You guys have to see this at some
I
point.
think I can pull it up.
It's so good. That was
Maybe
art.
at the time I'll bring
Yeah,
it. It is.
right.
It's kind of got this whole like steampunk thing going on. Steampunk fisherman.
Yeah.
So I use fishing tackle on it.
Yeah, that was amazing. Yeah,
What's
and I
next?
think I think you were showing me in real time, like, "I think I'll do this thing," and then, like, bloop, there it was. Yeah.
Indonesian palm root.
Mm,
I saw you
nice.
had a chunk of that the other day, a slab of it that you were going to do something with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got Angie gifted me a little end cut from she won it at an auction of Kyle's,
Oh,
and
nice.
the better piece is in the polished run that's coming out on New Year's Day. This one was just a little bit behind it, didn't quite make it in time. Yeah, that's fun stuff. I'd like to get more. It's expensive.
Yeah, yeah, that's gorgeous, though. I mean, I
Yeah,
love, like, the patterning of that with the different colors and the contrasts and everything, just
yeah,
a stunning stone,
yeah. The
for
one
sure.
that's in now has got it's all those tubes, all those root tubes, just
Yeah.
all over it. It's striped and it's gorgeous.
Yeah, yeah, that is amazing.
Yep.
And so Joseph was just saying that um, he had talked Rosie into getting a sonic cleaner, and
They're handy.
yeah,
They're handy. Yeah, I got a cheap little $35 one. I gave you the link,
yeah.
and it's $40 now. The first 3 months I had it, I got it for cleaning fossil shells. The
Uh-huh.
first 3 months I had it, I would put 3 or 4 of them in there and run it over and over and over. As soon as it stopped, press play, press play, press play, start, and until the
Yeah.
water was so muddy I couldn't even see the bottom. Dump it out, rinse it out, start again. It would run almost 12, 14 hours straight, day after day after day after for months.
Wow.
And that
And
was
it's
3 years ago, and it's still going.
oh, that's so good. So now you guys know to ask him for that if you're in the Discord if you want to get one as well. But Spot is also saying something about the fabric sprayer thingy, like one of those, the steamer
Yep.
things that people use into rocks. And so I think that they're talking back and forth about like what might use best. And it looks like Lisa was saying that Will Bond uses caulking for that.
For the pockets, yeah, that would work great, and you wouldn't have to melt it. Just you gotta
Mhm.
wait for it to set. But
Right, right. Yeah, yeah, this is a conversation that Theo and I have all the time about like dopping stones is like what holds on best, but what do you have to wait for longer? Because you can't wait to get, on to the next one, on to the next one. And yet if you're, dopping for faceting or something like that, you don't want it to fly off because that's the end of that project because you
mhm.
can't reorient it exactly to the angles, right? And so if it flies off of that dop, you're done. Like you either have to recut the whole stone or, whatever. So
Yeah,
tears.
put
Well,
it in your
that's pretty.
kaleidoscope.
What's that?
Put it in your kaleidoscope.
Yeah.
Throw it.
Kaleidoscope fodder. Actually, those like part done faceted stones would be great for the kaleidoscope. All right, anybody that has kaleidoscopes that they've made out there, and if you need like some half done stones, you can talk to me about that because yeah, that's happened a few times. So what are we looking at here?
This is East Java plume agate. I wish
Ooh,
I had a different type of. There's 3 different patternings to it that I've found. I got a like 5 pound package of it from the same guy I got that fire stuff we were looking at earlier.
mm-hmm.
Some of them, the other plumes look like honeycomb cells almost. It's really neat stuff. But yeah, this
Wow.
is East Java plume. Indonesia, there's all of a sudden there's great stuff coming out of there the last couple of years.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is that. It feels like Indonesia's always been hot. Like I can recall just days at the Gem Show. Um,
green petrified wood.
yeah,
The
going
gem
like, oh
green.
my
Oh
gosh, these
yeah,
these people have it going on.
yeah. Oh, it is just gorgeous. Yep.
I'm gonna see if that. Oh yeah, that
All
makes it
right.
bigger.
This is that San Carlos banded tube agate. The bottom of it was a moss agate. The top has those tubes. That's one I showed you months ago. I'm
Yeah.
getting frustrated. You can see that big divot. There's 2 of them
It
there in that white spot. That's actually where some of that yellow flame was. And when it gets exposed, all of a sudden that whole pocket just goes away.
blew it out. So
Yeah,
whatever it is would undercut
yeah,
apparently.
either undercut or it almost looks like it just falls out.
Yeah,
And you can
like
see I've got more
explodes.
of it coming up, so I can't just wear that away till it's gone and smoothed down because there's more coming
Mm,
up and there's going to be more holes. So
right. Ugh, hate that when that happens.
we'll see what I get out of that one.
It's
Yeah, that one's
pretty
a little bit
though.
cool. Yeah, it is. And the tube part, the top half of that rock is just going to be phenomenal. I'm just getting ready to prep that up to go into tumbling.
Ooh, oh, that breccia is insane.
Yeah, this one, I'm going to flip back and forth between the 2 photos of this one I've got of this one. I think it's something called Biggs Wascoite. This is a jasp opal type of thing.
Ugh.
It's that same one I buy where I buy the scraps from. It came in one of those, so that you never know what it
Ooh,
is. You just get to see the picture of the bulk rock and hope that
yeah, good luck.
yeah, good
Yeah.
luck. He takes good pictures. He takes good pictures.
Oh my gosh, that is just gorgeous. I love breccia like this.
Yeah,
Like,
it's fun
it's
stuff.
so mysterious. Like, of course, you can picture how it's made, but the fact that it's just kind of like these islands of floating, part of the continuity of the whole rock that gets marbled by these other things, just I don't know. I think that there's something really magical about
And
it.
the white's all opal. That's not chalcedony at all. That's all just nice, pretty opal.
Wow. And so here's a question. That would be a jasper then, in addition to the opal. Is there problems when you're working with the lapidary as far as the tumbling goes, where they since they're not the same hardness, do you have problems with that at all?
The opal and the jasper tend to be close enough. I don't get much undercutting, but the opal likes to fracture out. Like all of
Oh
a
yeah.
sudden, just this divot appears. It
Right.
was smooth before, and now I got the Grand Canyon running through it. When last week, it was like I was thinking, okay, it's coming out next week. I open it up, and yeah,
No.
I could pod race down that thing.
Oh man. Yeah, so that would be perplexing, but
Mhm.
well worth it. I mean, that is just elegant.
It's
I love that breccia.
all right. What's the next one?
Wow.
Speaking
Okay.
of Breccia,
Oh,
remember
oh,
that Whiskey Creek Jasper piece that I gave you with all the greens and everything?
yeah.
This is more of that stuff.
Whiskey Creek, good.
Yeah, this is out of Idaho. It's this one's my test piece.
Oh,
That's
that's close to me. Like,
yes.
can one go there?
I have no idea. I
Oh,
would
Karen's hatching plans as I might have to put you on big screen again so I can get online. No, I can wait. I can wait. I can
yeah,
hold it. No, that is beautiful. Look at it's almost Veracite looking in between the black
yeah. I was having trouble with the focus on this because it just didn't want to
because
go.
it's so beautiful. It's just like,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
You can't even
Speaking
photograph my magnificence.
of which, the next, I believe the final of the ones going on, this one is going to be my all-time favorite tumble I've ever done.
Uh-oh, here we go, folks. Wait for it.
I think that's the next one. They're in alphabetical order, and I did this one. I just put Z. This one's like Whiskey 3 JPEG. The other one was Whiskey 2.
Oh, gotcha.
This one I just put Z, so it would come up last. And I think that comes after Whiskey. I don't think there's another W coming up. Pow.
Ooh, ooh. That is also hotness, like
Yeah,
of a severe degree.
it's a little out of focus because that chalcedony is just so deep. The camera was not focusing. Those flames in the middle of those plumes are
Ooh.
3D garden quartz quality, like when you can really see into there.
Wow.
Yeah, and see, it's a little bit more out of focus, but you can almost see the depth a bit better there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, like what you're saying, good plume just gives you the world. And
Yeah,
oh,
and that's the other side of it.
oh, that's good.
Yeah, and
That like, yeah, I want a sweater like that. That's so pretty. So I think a couple weeks ago I was talking about how I think it was during your unboxing actually. I was talking about some of the material kind of more reminds you of an acrylic painting because it's all opaque, and that's the plume part. And then some of it reminds you of a watercolor painting or something that has like all this translucence and depth. And like this is the best of both worlds.
yeah, and
Wow,
the
that is
edges.
beautiful.
Yeah, this one's got probably 2 more weeks in rough, and then it'll be ready to go. So not this polish run that I'm starting in a couple of days, but the next one after that, this one will be going into.
So Cheryl was just asking, sorry, you guys in the chat, you are so awesome.
Yeah, I've
And
got
you guys are, yeah, like talking back and forth, but really quick, they're asking us questions.
I can't see. I've got split screens up. I've got the little window for seeing the StreamYard website that I'm using to stream into this, and then the
Right.
one with my pictures. I can't see the YouTube chat going by because that's buried.
So let me help out because somebody was asking if you did the tumbling for this. And
Yes,
so
all of it.
yeah, so it was Cheryl. Cheryl was asking, did you tumble those agates in the pics? And so Cheryl, yes.
Yep. Yeah. I
Um,
get the
go
rough,
ahead.
go out to my saw, cheap $10 rock saw on my old tea trolley. Shape
Yeah,
it up and then let it run.
you know, you really should do a video on, like, your outdoor studio hack.
I've got a
I'm
picture of the tea
serious.
trolley.
Yeah, that is, like, so, so spectacular what you've done with your outdoor studio. I love it.
I
And
don't
I'm
have
just
a picture of it all together, but I do have pictures of all the pieces. Yep.
nice.
And the one where you can see the best color, the very last picture, oops, that's two of
Ooh.
those, is bam. And there you can see the color better.
Oh, yeah, that's amazing.
The
Yeah,
focus
and the
was just
fact that
off
it
in
goes
the
all the
whole thing.
way is that as, kind of like wine or purple as we're seeing in the picture?
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
okay, because
It's got
that's
that. Yeah. I keep pointing at it like you can see my screen. Dude,
see
that's
that
not right
part?
there.
That yeah. Oh, yeah, that's just gorgeous.
Yep.
You know, there that rare magnesium or whatever gets to make that purple, you
Oh,
know, we
yeah.
just love it when it shows up in the business.
Yep. It's just that the chalcedony is so deep, it didn't want to focus. It was trying to focus through it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. When you perplex your camera, you know you're doing good.
Yeah.
And so I Rock Twister was just saying hit the like button. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Cynthia says that it looks like Jupiter, which I would agree. Like I want to go live there then.
Yeah.
Like,
It's just gorgeous. That one's going to be, I think, well, at least for a while, my all-time favorite thing I've ever tumbled. I
yeah.
love that rock so much. I love it so much.
Theo. Um
It was bigger than I thought it was going to be.
That is yeah, that is quite impressive. So that'll be like you know, everybody's got their little pocket stones or their Crown Royale bag that they put their special stones in or whatever it is.
What did you choose for a pocket stone? When you said when you opened all those tumbles, you were talking about maybe putting one in for a pocket stone, and you couldn't figure it. Did you ever put one in?
Like I have to admit that instead I took one of the the calcite Steinkerns and so that's not really a stone, right? But you know, like
Yes,
those
calcite
just
is a
made
stone.
me weak in the knees. Like,
Nice. Those are
oh,
fun. Those
yeah,
are
because
fun.
typically when I'm at the beach and I'm rock counting, and you know, everybody's got their superstitions, right? And
Mm-hmm.
mhm. And if I find something that's really super sweet, it doesn't go in the bag. It, like, stays in my hand, or, you know, if it's maybe, like, sketchy, like, I might, you know, get dumped by a wave or something like that, then I'll just put it in my pocket, and, but, like, there's something about, like, the chi of it that I just wanna, you know, I'll just keep on holding on to, and it's usually an agatized, you know, spiral shell. Like, if I find one on the
Those
beach,
are so
like
nice.
yeah,
Oh,
that one ends up in my hand and it'll be in my pocket type thing, so, yeah.
those are so nice.
Yeah, it's amazing because we find them, like, some people have eyes for them more so than others, but, you might find a couple a season, and so they're rare, but, like, if you're dialed in, then you're probably gonna find like, Jared, I think he found 2 when he was here. And he got super like we had a really good washout. He got really, in my opinion, pretty lucky because you don't just come to the Oregon coast and find agatized, you know,
It was his
us,
first time there. The beginners always, your first time in a new place, you're always the one that finds something it's why kids do so well. That
right?
reward on the ground. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, they did well when they were here. You know, they didn't find any, you know, big majestic bones like Theo. No spoilers, but Theo found something so good.
Awesome.
But, yeah, and so anyways, that to answer your question, that's where that was,
I pulled up my
and
tea trolley.
what's that?
I pulled up my tea trolley. I don't know if you
Oh,
can see
let's
it.
see it, yeah, oh, here, let's do this. There it is.
There it is. The day I found that saw for $10, I went out looking for something to put it on, some sort of stand. I drove around the corner, 6 houses down. This thing was going out for the trash.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I,
so great.
it's yeah. In my corner, my house just goes up, or my street goes up 4 houses, makes a dog leg left, and it was 6 houses down on the right, out on the curb.
Gotta love neighbors.
So I just put it in my
Mind
car,
if I
turned around, and came home.
right. Oh, that's so cool. Those of you who are wondering what we're looking at, you probably know that a number of us work outside because like this is a dirty jobs, folks, and you've seen like Rookie out there with his tile saw and others, doing their sawing outside for obvious reasons. I love outdoor studio. It makes so much sense to do. And then to be like together about it is so smart. Like I usually use stools and, like C clamps and things like that to get my outdoor studio worked out, right? I mean, it's
Mine
so
is
low tech.
everything is just junk and secondhand and thrift store. Now, you see that gray bucket? Do you
Yeah.
recognize that gray bucket? Somebody
Um,
out there has got to.
Somebody out there, do you know what that gray bucket belongs to? We probably have about a 10-second lag, and so uh, we can move on to talking about something else other than the gray bucket for a second to let people weigh in on that if you want.
It's the best bucket I've ever had.
Best bucket ever. Let's see. Oh, they're into like Scotch whiskey right now. Hold
Ooh.
on.
Ryan says, Ken, I'll buy a bag from you. A bag of what, man? You didn't get that from me.
Oh, the Crown Royale baggies. That's what got that going.
Oh,
Yeah,
Kyle.
because like
Sorry, I'm dyslexic.
everybody that like pretty much the good old boys of the rock miners, like whenever I would be like say at Tucson or you show up at somebody's claim or whatever, like they always have the crown, like let me show you the good stuff. And it's like a Crown Royale bag like almost every time. And so Rocky Mountain Bear was saying that don't ever toss your Royale baggies. They have so many uses. Don't make me start dumpster diving at your house, Kyle. So that's where that came from.
I don't have one right next to me, surprisingly. Not that I drink Crown, and it's good stuff, but no, I've got like 8 or 10 of them, and yeah, I'm surprised I don't have one right here.
Right? Oh, it's so classic. And John is saying the same thing. Like back in the day, the bartenders would save them the Crown Royale bags. That's
But
so
since
great.
we're in the repurposing thing for keeping, that's a deviled egg tray.
That's okay, everybody, taking notes.
Buck at the thrift store. And you'll actually reckon that flame one is in the upper left there, and that Wascoite. There's a couple that were just in there.
Oh, yeah.
I had to take those out and trim off or do a little bit of grinding. You can see one of the burrs I use, and I bring those out, keep them separated, and yep. I don't have pictures of it. My workbench, my great workbench that you love so much.
Yeah.
I wish I had a picture of it to put up.
That's great. Yeah, I really, really think that's an awesome upcycle.
There's my
And I'm
specific gravity station I made, one of those little wall picture cube thingies.
this is where the art piece comes into play, actually, guys. And I'm just catching up on the chat here really quick to see if anybody I see my grandma's gray dishwashing tub on the bottom shelf. Is that what it
Yep.
like? Okay, Ken's nodding. Allison wins. What does she win?
I won't sing for her.
Allison,
Everybody
you win in not
wins.
singing. Bing, bing, bing. All right, cool. You got it. And so I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ken.
Oh no, it's fine. We're in the repurposing things. Yeah, so that's that. I've got Scrabble stuff coming up. I love old Scrabble sets because you can drill little holes in them and put in bamboo skewers, and they make great little display stands. I pick them up for like $2 for a set. So there's who knows how many of those pegs. I just take my little Dremel drill press and
Yeah,
chop up
yeah.
bamboo skewers.
Oh my
So,
gosh, you guys,
and
look
you
at
can see
this.
behind them, I've got a close up coming up later on. Sorry, that one's a little bit blurry. Yeah, here's a shorter one for the two-phase quartz. And the other thing I do with them is the tile holders. I stain them. I use
Oh,
them for little
nice.
tiny shelf displays. That's the hole
Wow.
that the tiles go on.
Yeah, and I'm sure that you're in no shortage of Scrabble sets, like, in Florida,
No,
right?
it's thrift stores here are ridiculously good sometimes. It's
Oh, I
it's
bet.
macabre and sad, but true. There's a constant influx of stuff, and you never know whose collection is about to go in to a thrift store.
Right, right. Not macabre at all, but
Yeah. The Salvation Army gets, I go in there, so that thrift store, all of a sudden they'll have 2 shelves of snail figurines. That one
Yeah.
I've actually seen.
Right.
Uh, Literally, just two
Some of them
shelves
worth
full of them.
thousands
Yeah.
by Lalique or whatever, but it's
No,
still
they're all like the little Hummel ones and the
right,
Earthenware, and just
right.
every little snail you've ever seen. I've seen frogs, so many frog collections.
Oh my gosh, right? Oh, everybody's collections. This is a great hack though, I have to say, because everybody's always looking for display hacks. That's one of the most asked questions. Everybody's got a display. Everybody wants to see how everybody else displays their stuff. How do I do it? And I like this. I like the Scrabble bits very much.
They're handy, and like, you find a box of them for $2. And you get 4 or 5 of those stands, so you're paying 40 or 50 cents each for them. That's what I got them for to begin with. And then I figured, hey, I got these little tiles. Let's put some holes in them, see what I can do.
Wow. Wow, that's fantastic. Now, somebody was asking if you have any, like, was it Jenny that, do you have any of the, salamalane? Did I say that right? Salamalane?
Silamine, I'm there
Ba-ba-da-da.
now.
Salamalane. Da-da-da-da. Yeah. That stuff. It's that word that you see spelled that, you
That's
never have
cool
to
stuff.
say. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool stuff. I was saying to Kyle, you should make a blade with it, where that with a
Mm.
handle and the two flow obsidian for the blade.
Oof. So doesn't that stuff doesn't it suffer if it's in the elements though?
Nice, Jeff. I don't know. I haven't tried it.
I think like if Kyle's still in the chat, I think he's probably lurking if he's still around at all. Probably getting ready for his live stream tomorrow. Which, by the way,
Makes sense.
everyone, make sure to hit Kyle's live stream. Oh yeah, he's still around. Uh,
They will be rocking the oldies.
like Casey Kasem. Um, so Kyle, were you saying that you had some issue with yours, like that it was oxidizing or something like that? And he says,
Thanks,
"Oh
Jeff.
yeah, I'm in the shop getting ready, haha."
Yep.
For sure, yeah. And so, how about Scrabble tiles made of rocks? Okay,
Yeah,
so
that would be cool.
like he just flips it. He buys the
Yep.
spile, the Scrabble tiles to make into rock display, and then he takes the rock displays and laps them into the
Make
Scrabble.
this challenge.
Yeah.
I see. Was it Silverback was saying plate holders
Oh
for
yeah.
slabs and slices? I get those for those and stuff like that. Yeah, the lighting's
Oh,
horrible
I love
again.
those.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
fun. Yeah, those things are
So
everywhere. You for 50 cents up to the great big ones that are like 12 inches tall. You see them for $2
oh my
everywhere.
gosh.
Yeah, people that are slab hunters would just. I've actually thought about offering. If you want me to, I'll go. I'll just fill up a flat rate box and send them to you. Reimburse me for whatever I spent, because I'm sure like 70 or 8 of them at 2 or $3 each will add up quick. But
Yeah, no, that's a great hack. I love all these things. Soul says you can use the game board as a shelf display for spheres. Just fold the board in half and drill the holes. All right,
yep,
I like that. Yeah, see,
speaking our
everybody's
language.
jumping on board.
Yep.
Yeah. And Kyle says that it didn't oxidize. It's just a pain in the ass to polish it and super messy. All right.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be smelly too.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
that's not gotta be fun. Like
yeah.
that is probably right up there next to Boulder Opal, working with that.
Or that marcasite. Ooh,
Oh, Marcasite too, but I don't know. I haven't had to deal with like too large of specimens, but there's a fair amount of Marcasite in some of the graveyard point that we get, and you always know when it's like on the saw, like you start smelling it, and you're like, oh, this is one of those pieces.
the boggy eternal stench.
Yeah, it is most certainly so. And so I mean, but it's so pretty actually though. Like when it's integrated into the graveyard point agate, like
Oh,
it's like there's the plumes, and then a lot of times the marcasite are these harsh like crystal metallic crystals, and then a lot of times it's in the blue stuff that has the dendrites too, and you're just going like it's all the things.
it's all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the
I've
metal
got some of that.
crystals and the
Yeah, I've got
plumes.
some of the Napomo agate going right now.
Oh, nice.
I tried to take a picture of some of it. It didn't go too well. It, uh, me in photography, I'm just learning how to really start getting good angles for stuff because I'm like the marcasite when it was wet because everything's all rough right now. I just couldn't get it to look gold. It just kind of looked like this dull spot in the rock.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm like giggling over here because Jackie said that it's like salami-ish.
Of course, Jackie said that.
Right. Oh my gosh.
Is that a hard salami, Jackie?
Yeah, there's like thank you, Jackie, always for the comedy relief in the chat. Um, and okay, now I know what we're looking at here. We're looking at the build.
Yep. Old. We were talking about my basket for my upgraded that specific gravity thing we passed by earlier. There. Whoops.
Mhm.
That was
You've
just a
gone too far.
prototype. That was just a prototype. I'm doing an upgraded basket. I stripped out that button because it was perforated and it will drain. I didn't have to drill a hole through a piece of metal.
So rad.
Took some fishing gear.
Look at that, you guys. Isn't that fantastic? It makes so much sense too, and it's
And
functional and it's
that's a
pretty.
little carnelian bead right there too. I had to pass
That's a
the
nice.
fishing line down through and back up. I needed a stop piece. I had a carnelian bead.
You're like,
But yeah,
you'll
that's
do.
a triple swivel and some leaders and an old button and a steel sinker.
No, that is so good. Like, I mean, it fits the bill. It's
It
exactly
does.
what you need, and it's, all these like upcycled parts, and
It's like steampunk matrix type
so
thing. And I really want to, I know I mentioned this to you, and I'm sure I'm going to light off with instead of having just the string that I pull back and fasten around the nail, I
oh
want to
yeah.
get a little toy crane.
Yeah.
Up and down out of the water.
You need a truck with the yeah.
Yeah, little toy truck, a little Tonka truck with a
That
crane.
or else the Jeep
Park it
with
on
the
top.
little mini winch, one
Yep,
or the
yep.
other, man.
I will make the noise.
Yeah. He's got the Tonka toy, you guys. That's great. No, that and like what's so funny is like we all need that. Like that's a really handy tool that you just made there.
It is.
Like,
I got it
yeah.
because I found a piece of what we thought was alexandrite, and it wound up being it, but it could have been a couple different things. And I'm like, okay,
Mm,
specific gravity. Well, as Patrick said, specific gravity. Check it out. I'm like, well, I don't have a thing, but I can make one easy. It's a simple concept. So that first one was $2, and threw that together, and I'm putting together a better one. This one was particle board. I got a bigger one that I can reach in and out of easier, and it's made out of wood, so I didn't blow out the top when I came down through with my hole cutter. And yeah,
nice.
off we go.
Yeah. And so did you guys come to a conclusion about the stone that you were trying to test?
It is alexandrite.
Ooh, okay, big score.
Yeah, not as big as it is a good price. I got it for $10 in a thrift shop. It's a manufactured one from probably
Oh,
from Walmart, so it's like an $85-$90 stone, but still, It's 7.5 carats. And it's a pretty little Alexandrite.
That's a good margin,
Yeah.
actually.
I Googled 7.5 carat Alexandrite shopping, and it was the first one that came up was Walmart, $88.11.
No
Well, there it is.
way. And so was it already faceted or was
Yep,
it
yeah, it's fully
oh
faceted.
my
It's
gosh.
yeah,
That's
it's got
crazy that it like it boggles my mind how they can offer a stone that is faceted for that price that is actually a gemstone.
the pavilion's not polished at all. It's
Okay.
just the crown is. So once you get that, and it's just this like 3 steps. It's
Okay.
freaking chunky, and
Okay.
it's
I'm
mass
feeling a
produced.
little less like upset about that at this point because you know how much like Patrick and Theo and all y'all out there, Manny, the folks that are just getting into faceting, you understand what goes into it, and you see some of the stuff on the market, and you're just going, how can you sell that with any labor attached? Like the stone itself costs that, like, or you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it just is crazy.
Sad thing is, it probably came from a place where they didn't pay the labor.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. Like,
This is gut. I found this exact stone in the ad for Walmart, $88.11. So
yeah. So where did they get that? And like, I don't mean to be a heavy, but like you vote with your money, like, like, I don't know. Don't want to subsidize that kind of activity.
yeah, not much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's a pretty stone. I got it at the Humane Society thrift shop.
Well, that's all better.
Yeah.
All better now. But like back to the story, what a cool way to there's a lot of tests out there that people kind of get a little stymied by because you ask, okay, Mohs hardness test. Okay, that's an easy one. Well, what about the streak test? Well, go scratch your toilet bowl.
Yep.
You know? You have a scratch test in your house, I guarantee it. And then, when it gets to specific gravity and stuff like that might be the stopping point for some people, and you really shouldn't be intimidated. You can go on. Like, it's not that hard to put something together for
No,
yourself.
no, no. A cheap digital scale is like $20. You don't need super scientific equipment. Just go to a local shop that I'm sure you've got down the street from you somewhere, and that's where I got mine. And that's that. And the rest of it, I mean, all you got to do is keep the weight off. You just got to get a little creative. I found a $2 box at the thrift store, drilled a hole in it, and put in a couple screws. Bent up a paper clip.
Boom, boom, baby. Yeah, and there you go. And so Jackie says Karen, JTV has a set that's the finished stone and a raw piece of the Alexandrite. I thought that was a neat pairing. Yeah, I would agree with that. Oh, and then Brian also said automated faceting machines. Like that's a thing. I don't
Oh,
know if you've
yeah.
seen that, but that like
Especially if they're not doing the pavilion, if they're just doing, and it's an emerald cut.
yeah, yeah,
So
bam, bam,
that's,
bam. You
yeah.
just like program that armature to do whatever it is that needs to be done, and it's like wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
Yep.
So, yep, that's right. So at
It's,
least we don't feel like it's bloodstone. Like, you know,
but
that
they don't pay the person that does it.
yeah, but they still don't pay the operator or the
They don't.
computer programmer.
Talking about this PR day in, day out, just wants to change the scenery.
Yeah, the robot never gets a holiday or, never
Yeah.
gets sent to
I
the
just want to do a
Bahamas for a
princess cut.
vacation. Right. Oh, right. It's like Edward Scissorhands sitting there like, I could be creative. Can't I do something different? That's great.
All right, let's get rid of that thing.
And Ellison is saying, yeah, you can't compete with mass production. That is so true. Um, yeah, and let's see. You guys you're awesome out there hanging out in the chat. I love like all of this friggin' robots. Says Rocky Mountain Bear. Yeah, the
I
bots.
I do have something for the brain trust.
Oh, brain
I'm
trust.
hoping that maybe somebody can help with. I've found a handful of these. I've got 5 of them right here, down on the beach with mixing with all the fossils. And they're definitely a tooth. They've got a little hole in the bottom where the nerve comes in. There we go. There you can see it. But oh, gravity.
Gravity check. It's working.
They're not
Oh
shark
yeah.
teeth. They've got a curved front that comes to a like pretty thin edge. They're curved backwards. You can see that one a little bit that way, just a touch. Am I holding it the right way? No, sorry, a little bit that way. You can see the leading edge has got that curve.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Yep. Sorry, I was holding it badly.
Not
And
a
I found
petrified candy corn.
no, and they're definitely teeth. So I've got another one right here. You can see the nerve hole that
Oh
comes down
yeah,
into
look
them,
at that.
and they've all got that nice curve to them.
Hmm.
And I've found half a dozen of them. They're not fish. They're the fish ones don't have that nerve hole.
Hmm.
I don't know if these are from a. Do seals have teeth like that? I mean, my first thought was a bobcat fang the first time I found one, but I found half a dozen. I don't think there's that many bobcat fangs laying around randomly.
Yeah, I don't know teeth very well. I know
Yeah.
my own sort of, but like yeah, as far as like the different tooth configs, that is really interesting. And like it wouldn't be something from like a gator or something like that. Like I'm
Oh,
not
somebody's
familiar with
saying
those.
croc back there.
Oh yeah, like a yeah.
Yeah, and
So
I have
oh look, me and Kyle on the same wavelength. Yeah, ancient
saber-toothed
gator,
squirrel.
Brian
Yep.
crocodile. Okay, saber-toothed squirrel says Cody. I like that. Coon says Kid Curry, like
All
maybe
right.
a raccoon. Dunno. Croc
And
Teeth says Bob's
okay,
Rocks.
there we go. Because the ones that, hey Travis, the ones that I find or that I know are croc and alligator are a different shape. They're more cone shaped. And so these ones with just that really thin, I didn't think those would be a crocodilian, but that's why I'm asking the brain trust because I don't know.
Jackie says Crocodilian.
Crocodilian.
Right? Oh, and Joseph wants to pitch in mermaids or mermans. And Lisa wants to say plesiosaur.
Ooh, there we go. That'd be nice.
And
Okay, actually,
Allison, LOL about the teeth. Yeah.
yeah, mer vampires.
um, let's see. As a computer programmer for the last 25 years, I can confidently say that bugs in the programs are strategically planted as a form of job security.
Oh
So
yeah.
so when the faceting goes terribly wrong, we know that they yes, that bot needs to be reprogrammed and it's going to cost you. So Rocky Mountain Bear votes for a gremlin. Somebody obviously got it
Basic
wet and
gremlin.
fed it after midnight or
Yeah,
something.
right.
Yeah. Allison says Sasquatch. Do you have
Ooh,
Squatch or aren't they called
skunk ape.
something different? Aren't they Skookum or
Skunk ape.
Skunk Ape? That's it.
Skunk
Yeah,
ape.
like out your way.
Yep.
So and Scrat says Cheryl. Maybe that's another name for the Sasquatch. Scrat. And bobcats are addicted to meth. Oh no.
Meth. Oh yeah, cocaine bears.
Mr. Turtle Montana, unless bobcats are addicted to meth. Losing their teeth, like, oh, that's
They're
terrible.
smashing away at that tree till they get to the other side.
Right.
3 days later, they're down the nubs.
Yeah, we know that behavior. Kid Curry says Goonie, meth cats. Yeah. Spot. Mermail says Mr. Turtle Montana. Yeah. All right.
We got time for a couple more things here.
Yes, please.
Okay. All right. Well,
Awesome.
this one you're going to recognize, and this will help ID. This is a nice old
Yay.
bull shark tooth.
Yay, bull sharks.
And this one I thought was a fossil when I first found it, or the next one that I'm showing, because it was blue too. And you've seen how blue they can sometimes get. But it turns out that blue was just blood that hadn't dried out yet. So that one had been swimming around where I was walking about a couple hours before.
Whoa. Wow. No way.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
And it's really tough to spot these things when they're fresh because they're the color of the sand.
Right.
You know, these guys stick out.
That's why you go barefoot and you just feel around with your feet until you get bit.
Yeah, and I do go barefoot. Yeah, I'm always barefoot, but it's everything sharp. A dead puffer fish is a horrible thing to find.
Oh, no.
That was bad. That was not fun.
That's not one of those ones where you can, like, have somebody pee on it and it gets all better?
I didn't ask.
I think that only goes for, what, like, jellyfish stings? Yeah.
I'm still not going to ask. Sorry, I've been stung by it. Oh, it's not a story for here, although you owe us a good story still. But
I
I
do.
have a horrible day involving a jellyfish from when I was like 20 years old. Oh, God, 22.
Tell
Oh,
us.
no, it's a long one. My foot just got beat up over and over and over again. And the second
Okay,
to last
folks,
thing to get
Ken's
it was
coming back on.
no, we're not getting into that one
He's
today.
he's gonna be a guest again then.
Things that went wrong were a sliding glass door,
Oof.
barnacles, jellyfish, uh, a rental car horror. Oh, that was a bad day.
Yeah.
That was
Like,
a
you're
bad
only
day.
supposed to, like, have them come in threes, you know? Like, you're supposed to arrange your tragedies.
Overachiever.
Okay, so, that's why there's so many teeth everywhere. Oh, again, the Breaking Bad, like, Breaking Bobcats, yeah.
Meow, 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 meow.
Um, and oh shoot, I'm trying to pick up on everybody's comments. Like a whole batch of really good funnies just went by. You guys are hilarious. Let me just say. Um, and so have you got anything else?
Uh, yeah, I got this right here. I've only found the one of these. That
Ooh.
is a Pleistocene era fossil lace murex, little tiny one. It's
Oh my gosh.
every little bit is there, and that thing is at least 12,000 years old.
How does that work? I don't get
I,
it.
jeez, yeah, it's
Oh, this is actually a really good I'm gonna bait you with a question. So you just showed us the modern tooth and the fossil tooth, and you're showing us what looks like a modern shell, but you explained to me why it's not. So tell everyone.
um, it's as it sits in a fluid for a long time that is very mineral rich, or in a substance that has a lot of fluid running through it, like Florida with lots of rain and all the sand. The minerals that make it up get leached out by the chemicals in the water that go through it and replaced with a different mineral. And it's called permineralization. And it turns them into basically an entirely new substance that has the exact same shape, sort of like how pseudomorphs work when you're getting into crystal forms. And so these, the way you can tell if they're fossils or not, is the fossilized ones will glow orange when you hit them with a UV light. The ones that are modern and just sun bleached stay white. And so that's how you can tell. I've actually had a jar full of coral pieces like that stag coral where I put the light on it and oh, hey, there's an orange one down in there. That one's fossil. Because
Oh,
looking at it,
wow.
yeah,
They look like exactly the same.
this is not the one. But yeah, that's fossilized. This one will glow orange, and it looks just like came out of the water modern stuff.
Ah, that's so cool.
Yeah, and so modern shells will sun bleach and look exactly like this, but when the minerals get replaced, then you can get them with the UV light. And some of them don't always replace all the minerals, like that spiral Babylon that I gave you. That one was only half mineral replaced.
Right. Yeah, like which kind of stymies the mind, but I
Yeah,
get it 'cause, they use the same, vernacular for when you're talking about petrified wood, and so you get permineralized wood, and then sometimes you will have an amalgam, and I think that Kyle's even had some of the ones that are more mummified, where you have an old piece of wood,
yeah.
but, part of it has been permineralized and you've got like either agate or jasperization that, it's super hard. And then you've got part of the wood that is still just as old, but you can stick your fingernail into it.
Like when they're finding the mammoth stuff out in Siberia, the bones are are fossilized, but they're getting marrow out of the middle of it.
So crazy.
You know,
So
it's
cool.
yeah. You know,
Yeah.
I've seen, I think Wild Kyle, when Theo was down there, they were finding shells that were only partially mineral replaced. You know, they're 12,000 years old, but this part of it sat in an area that had a lot of fluid coming through it and changed out the minerals. And this one stayed, you know, above the stream level, or who knows. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's fast. Okay.
There's
More.
your
Wait.
spiral babble. I've had a couple of them to show you what they look like when they're not fossilized.
Very cool.
It's one of this is that spiral Babylon that we were just talking about.
Just gorgeous.
Yeah, they get a lot more orange. Mine are pretty faded, but yeah, they're fun.
Wow.
Yeah, well, these aren't the exact same species, but remember your
Oh, yeah.
alphabet cones.
I love those.
Yeah,
They're
these
so
aren't
cool.
actually alphabet cones. These are different types of cone shells, but you can see where those spots that glowed orange, they used to be some sort of color like that. And so
So,
when that dye got replaced with a mineral, the pigment that's in there stayed with it and reacts with the new mineral that's in there, and that's why that spot glows more orange than the rest of it. The rest of it still is glowing orange. It's just so outshone by that other part that you can't tell.
that explains the question I was about to ask. Brilliant. Thank you again for reading my mind. That's fantastic.
Like
I
putting a
love
lighter next
your
to a headlight. You know, the lighter's still there. You just can't see it because the headlight's so light, so bright.
right, right. Great analogy. That's perfect. I that is such a wonderful array of shows and tells that we've all been, I think, completely like mind blown by your
Sorry to
beautiful
hijack your
art.
live again.
I love it. Oh, this is great. So ladies and gentlemen, in the chat, and those of you that are watching, thank you so much for joining us. I'm testing a new platform, and it's been wonderful to be able to see about having a guest on. And I thought that you guys would all get a total kick out of meeting Ken. If you wait, which
I forgot
I
to
can't.
change my name to Crash Test Dummy.
You know, because it's so interesting to hang out with folks online, and you like your friends. We're all friends, and then to see somebody's face or to be able to interact with them in yet a new way, I think is super neat. Having the chance to converse, and the chat is always warm and fantastic, but it's so neat to see your face.
This has been fun. And
Yeah.
I get now why when you're doing your thing, you're not reacting so quickly to what people are saying in the chat. And even with two of us here, I'm not watching. I'm watching you when you're talking, and there's stuff going by, and I'm so lost. You know,
Yeah.
yeah. So sorry if I haven't replied to people. I can't see it.
Yeah, so I that is so perfect that you bring that up, because I know that there have been some absolutely brilliant riffs and jokes out there, and you like you put up one in somebody else's chat, you know, on somebody else's live, and you're just like, this is a killer. They're gonna get such a kick out of that, and they either miss it, or they, you know, there's like a 10-second delay on it or whatever, and yeah,
And whole new appreciation for Kyle doing that auction by himself, because that's what he's paying attention to, is that screen. You
yeah,
know, that's his whole thing, is the part that we're saying, hey, I can't keep up with it. That's his whole world in that. You know,
yeah.
he's going to stay on it. So props to you, Kyle, if you're still in the room.
He is. He's still working, but I see just commented down there. And so yeah, like this is what I was talking about, I think, on the last live stream, is if I could only be like a chameleon and like watch the chat with one eye, and then be able to, you know, like do the rest of it with the other, and not freak you guys out at the same time.
We're a very open group. And I
Right.
want to have the mantis shrimp vision. So chameleon around, but those three pupils scanning back and forth, and yeah, that would be great.
Oh yeah. I mean, shoot, mantis shrimp, like they have like the whole array of chroma that we don't even see.
Yeah, we
I
see like
mean, imagine
7.
how cool stuff would look. All of our rocks would be so
Yeah.
much better. Oh, so Bob's Rocks wants to know what I'm using. I am using the what is this? I'm using StreamYard right now. And so where did Bob's Rocks go? He was just asking, I can do this. Look. Oh my gosh.
That's right.
What software was that? And so like I can choose things. I can change our mode here. If I wanted to show something, or if Ken wants to show something, then you saw the different pictures and stuff. I think there's another thing. I don't want to like tangent too hard here right now, actually. It would be so easy to like go off on a tangent. I'm learning all the new little bells and whistles, and so we'll at the very least have this to play with, guys, as far as the platform goes, and that way we can guest you. Like, be careful if you're in the live stream. I might choose you for the next live, and you might have to come on here.
I was just sitting here minding my own business.
Right? I just randomly like pluck somebody right out of the live. And
Oh,
here he is. So yeah, watch your step. And Kyle says thank you.
I saw that very, very
Yeah.
well, Kyle.
Yeah. And Mr. Turtle Montana says, speaking of glowing orange under UV, I took a Uper light. Ah, man. Yeah. Yeah. Fluorescent sodalite and ground it up. Huh? And now I'm mixing it with epoxy and setting it into rings and pendants.
Oh,
Ooh.
I was thinking you're making a paint or a pigment of some sort. Glow in the dark paint would be cool too. Mix it with some egg whites and however else they do that. But
Yeah.
wow,
Yeah.
set it into rings.
I like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
And Lisa's saying that 10-second lag is a killer too. Lisa, thank you very much. I want to take a public moment to thank her. Both Ken and Lisa have been helping me hash out the new platform for the live in the behind the scenes, so that I didn't completely slaughter this evening. And thank you, Ken and Lisa, for that.
She's my better half.
Aw, it's so sweet that is the truth and is what's going on.
I've been waiting for people to actually put pieces together, and a couple people have, but
Everybody's being really polite about it. Like, can't believe it. Actually, I'm imagining that they're all dishing, privately. Like, do you
You're welcome,
think?
sweetie. I see
Do
that.
you? I don't know. Maybe. Well, now you know.
I see Kyle with the what?
And then there's people that don't even know what we're talking about, so that's fine.
You didn't read the Christmas card, Kyle?
Oh, and thank you for the Christmas card
Oh,
as
yeah.
well. I did that. All right. Yeah. Aw. Oh no, he really did miss it. He's like, what did I miss? In all caps. And Jackie's like, everybody knows. Duh.
Ah.
And Brian, who's Ken and Lisa? Yeah. I love our community for this, though. It's so cute. Yay. Well, I didn't know, but that makes a bunch of sense now. Ha ha ha.
Surprise.
Yeah. Like, especially when, like, oh, let so and so just pick this
Thank
up
you,
for
Carol.
me. Like, they'll make the decision on this stone. They can auction for me or whatever. Like, that kind of is a dead giveaway.
Oh, thank you, Jackie.
Huggy face. All right.
I saw
No,
that movie. Those didn't look friendly.
Oh no, and so a few people are still actually feeling slow. We
Oh.
just there's love connections, guys. Like, there's love connections happening, and I'm not part of it. So the other two people that we've been talking about, that's what's going on,
I've seen Steve. I ain't messing with that.
right?
I'm old and weak. I've had enough surgeries.
Although I imagine that the four of us will be like hanging out at some point. That would be
That would
fun.
be cool. That
Yeah,
would be very,
yeah.
very
Won't that be the surprise for you all? Like when we all show up in like a live or a video together.
Or we can crash something. I don't know what. We'll find something. Show up.
in like the steampunk outdoor studio. That is amazing. That hopefully won't rust because gosh. All right. So and Kyle says that makes him happy. It does.
Thank you, Kyle.
Makes us all happy. Like I think that this has been perfect. And so thank you guys all for coming to the very, very last live stream of 2023 for the Friday Night Lives. And thank you, Ken, for being like the most fabulous guest
Thank you. This has
on
been so much fun.
such an auspicious occasion. Well, I'm telling you, like, be careful because I might choose you out of the audience again soon.
Happy. This has really been fun.
It's been a blast. Yeah, and thank you all out there. And seriously, I wish you the very, very best in the new year.
Thank you.
And yes. So hang out with us on the Discord, share all of your New Year's resolutions and all those fun things and your pictures and all of the cool things that you might have scored for Christmas and all the rest of it. And until then, everybody,
Hold on though.
Steinkern.
I want to commandeer one thing here. I feel
Oh yes,
I
please.
need some words of wisdom from you, Karen.
Mm.
I'll put you on the spot.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's Friday night. We need Karen's words of wisdom.
Do I have wise? Oh, Tiger Eye, hi. It was like so some people are like popping out of nowhere to the Happy New Year's and stuff like that. Okay, everybody, get your glasses ready for the big cheers, and let me think about
It's water.
wise. Um,
I'm evil.
you are.
I
Thinking, loading. I just would say it just you gotta like ring every minute, and I mean this kind of ring. Every minute of your experience with the things that you value. And so the people either here on this live stream and in the chat that are together or the experiences that you're going to go have on that aisle or the rock hounding experience, you never know. You just never know when you won't be able to pet a certain duck again or
I'm so sorry about your
or whatever. It's just it brings everything into perspective that like things that you take for granted that you do almost every day, but things that are really valuable, like looking out at the ocean or looking out at the mountains or the moon or whatever it is, like breathing the fresh air. Take it in, really, really take a moment to value it because you just don't know when that's a passing thing. Not to be heavy. And everybody like drop for Goosey the duck.
And the evil red-tailed hawk.
And we were looking, this just happened yesterday, not to throw something in at the very end, but we were looking at this beautiful red-tailed hawk that was circling over the house.
It's so pretty. No.
Yeah, because Steve's like, hey, look, honey, because he's in a different window, but he knows I can see out the window. Hey, look, honey, there's this beautiful hawk circling the house. I'm like, oh, wow, this is really great. He goes outside to go look and watch it. Yeah, and it had made supper out of one of the ducks. And so.
Poor duck.
Yeah, at any rate, value the things. And like, that's a circle of life thing too. So just know that like, I understand you can't keep nature down and it does what it does. And so that is what it is. And so anyways, Cheers to you and yours. Have a very, very happy New Year. Thanks
And
again for
you.
joining us. And oh, wow, I just turned orange. And we will see you in the new year with a podcast and the live streams and everything else. We love you. Take care. And we will see you next time. Thanks
Night,
again.
everybody. Thank you.
Cheers, everyone.
Thank you, Karen.
Thank you, Ken. Bye now.